Hey guys, alright, we're back with another unscripted topic. I wasn't really planning on doing another one of these so soon. I was planning on making another, real video before doing another one of these, but something crazy just happened that I feel like I need to make a video about now to kind of capitalize on, get out as much information to everyone as possible, so hopefully not as much misinformation gets spread around. So, as some of you may have heard, Stardom recently got bought by another company. It was just announced, they just had a press conference for it, and people were freaking out. Myself included. I was very worried because I just felt like if someone else was in charge, that meant bad things for foreign fans. My thoughts was, the only other company in the wrestling world right now, in Japan, who actually catered to a foreign audience well, was New Japan Pro Wrestling. And even then, in a way that I didn't really like. I'm not a big fan of announcers. Stardom has kind of spoiled me on that. I kind of really love having no announcers in wrestling now. Well, it turns out that the company that acquired them is the same company that acquired New Japan Pro Wrestling. Everyone was kind of speculating on what was going to happen. Is Stardom Girls going to be the subdivision of New Japan? Are they going to be the women's division? Is there going to be a complete remake of Stardom, a makeover? Are they going to get rid of the whole subtitle things? There was speculation upon speculation. So let me run you through everything that's happened so far. Like last time, I'm using my laptop camera to capture myself, and so if you see the camera wiggle and stuff like that, it's because I'm touching it like that. So where are we? Right here. So it all started at 7:10 p.m. my time. I don't really know which time zone I am in right now in the US because the state I live in does not do daylight savings time. So the time zone that we're kind of in is switched back and forth all the time. So around 7:10 p.m., a couple hours ago, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 4 hours ago from me making this video, the Bushiroad company tweeted out, Bushiroad acquires the female professional wrestling organization Stardom under the same umbrella as Nippon Pro. Don't know what Nippon Pro is? Probably should have looked that up. Nippon Pro. Golf. So maybe they own a golfing company. I don't know. Oh, notification. So as you can see here, it links to a Yahoo page talking about the event. Of course, it's going to be in Japanese because all of this is Japanese companies buying and, other Japanese companies and whatnot. Please excuse my terrible internet. It's actually not too bad. Much worse than what we had at the other house, but it's not terrible, in my opinion. It became clear that Bushiroad Co., Ltd., I'm not entirely sure what that means. I know I probably should, but I don't. President Yoshinori Hashimoto, the parent company of New Japan Pro Wrestling, will acquire the female pro wrestling organization Stardom. Wow, this is a pretty good translation so far. Expected to be officially announced on the 17th after approval by the Extraordinary Board of Directors. Looks like one of my lights went out. I don't know how that's going to affect the rest of the video, but I'm just going to have to keep it like that. The pro wrestling world is likely to enter a new era when the Nihon Pro, Nihon I believe is Japan in Japanese, that's what they call themselves, and the top group in the women's professional world are in the same umbrella. Oh, Nihon Pro, maybe they're talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling. In some of the stories of multiple stakeholders, Bushiroad's advancement into women's professionals began to move around last fall. Director Takai Kitani, 59, who was the founder of the company and served as the chairman, showed a strong interest, and in February this year, an official contracted Stardom's Rossy Ogawa, 62. Oh, he's actually younger than I thought he was. The meeting between Mr. Kitani and Mr. Ogawa was realized in April. Wow. This is, I actually have a theory that a lot of people found out about this happening, and that's why everyone's jumping ship to Stardom. Think about it. Think about all the people that they have gotten this year. They got Konami, Hana, Miyagi, Julia. I feel like there's another one. I'm not counting Riho because she's not signed there. Don't let anybody fool you. Riho is not signed to Stardom. I know everyone wants to make the narrative that Stardom poached Riho from Gato Move, and they keep saying she's signed there, but she's not. She's a freelancer. Sure, she pretty much exclusively wrestles for Stardom, but she can and does wrestle at other promotions. She's not signed to Stardom. Now, with that out of the way, all these people are jumping ship to Stardom, and there's got to be a reason why, and that might be one of the reasons. Business transfer story was completed in August. So, a couple months ago. Oh, wow. So, this has been done for a couple months, and they're just now announcing it. Stardom's business will be undertaken by Kick Road. Now, this is important to know, because a lot of people are throwing out that Bushiroad is taking them under their wing or whatever, but that's not true. A subsidiary of Bushiroad called Kick Road, which operates a kickboxing event, Knockout, is going to be over them. They're the ones running Stardom now, technically. While taking over the current system, including Ogawa, the company is expected to gradually move to a new system. It was approved by the extraordinary board meeting of Bushiroad held in the morning of the 17th, and an official announcement meeting is scheduled in the afternoon. Now, that sounds all really scary. I know I was a little upset because I was worried about how they're going to handle the foreign fans here, because Stardom is pretty much the only Joshi pro wrestling that we can watch and follow along with the story like real time, like while we're watching it, because of the subtitles. Other promotions I know, like I think Tokyo Joshi has a Twitter account that while they live stream the show, there's a dude live tweeting translations, and that's great, but I don't really watch the live events, and it's hard to kind of match it up while you're rewatching it. Then I think they're just going into talking about Stardom themselves, talking about who they are, where they went. Now, oh my God. I know this is not relevant to what I'm talking about right now, but it has to do with that Julia situation. Can you guys believe that they got these Ice Ribbon girls to reenact when they saw Julia's message on the group line account? They had these girls reenact, look at this, they had them reenact them seeing the message for the first time. You know how many people think this is the real shot of them seeing it? This is why I'm not fully on Ice Ribbon's side on this, because they're so trying to be victims. Like, if they just said like, whoa, we don't know what's going on, we'll update you when things get settled, then I would be much more likely to trust them. But the fact that everyone is trying so hard to be like, oh my God, I can't believe she did this to us, it just seems so fake to me. And the fact that they did this, come on, that's just... Anyway. Hey guys, just a little addendum. As I was going to edit this, I noticed that someone translated that Tokyo Sports article. Miguel F on Reddit. And the reason why I wanted to put this in here is because it gives an official statement from Rossy on why he sold, and I felt like that's pretty important to put into the video. So here we go. It says, according to an official with the promotion, sales themselves are higher than they were with Io and Kairi were with Stardom. That actually makes a lot of sense. Myself and probably a lot of other people included feel that Stardom has never been better. As much as we love Io and Kairi, it kind of felt like Io and Kairi kept everyone else down unintentionally by being so good, and no one else could really shine. And now that they're all gone, everyone else kind of feels more like a star. However, Mr. Ogawa felt that there was a limit to continuing to go it alone because it meant that we ended up having to chase profits while keeping costs low. Basically, being a super cheapskate was the only way to get like a lot of profits, and this way they're going to have a lot more backing. They don't have to be such cheapskates anymore. Taking the long view, he decided that this was the right shape to take in order to popularize the women's wrestling genre and ensure Stardom's survival in the future. Of course, it makes sense. Currently, Stardom's annual sales are believed to be roughly 200 million yen, but according to a source close to Kidani, he has been enthusiastic about the deal, saying in 5 years we'll be doing 1 billion yen annually. Now that 200 million yen, that's pretty interesting. That means about $2 million a year. Wow. See, that's sales though. That's not profit, I don't think. So I'm a little too tired right now to do the math on whether that's actually good or not for a year for a promotion that size with that many people working under them. But if you want to go through and read through this yourself, just go to the Stardom Joshi. It's one of the top posts right now. I just wanted to add that in there. So let's get to the rest of the video. So back to the actual topic of this video. So that was all scary, and everyone was wondering what was going on. And so turns out that the English Stardom account, and I know some of you don't follow it, I had to give in and start following it, even though they spoil the matches, and I hate spoilers. I had to give in because this is the most reliable way to get information for me, unfortunately. So let's go into it. 3 hours ago, at the time of this, it's like 30 minutes after this tweet or something like that, he tweeted, Stardom has been acquired by Bushiroad. More details to come shortly. Obviously, that's not true because they weren't acquired by Bushiroad. I mean, they technically were, but they were more acquired by Kicks Road, which is like a subsidiary of Bushiroad. It's, for all intents and purposes, that's true, but when you get down to like the nitty gritty, it's really not. For anyone unaware, Bushiroad owns New Japan Pro Wrestling. Just letting us ignorant foreigners in on who Bushiroad is. I actually had to look them up myself. As you can see, I have the Wikipedia page open here that we will go to after this. A press conference will be held at 2 p.m. Japan Standard Time. Do they really only have one time zone there? That's crazy. Anyway, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., which I thought meant 1 a.m. here where I live right now, but it was actually only like 9. Or no, I think it was like 10. It was like 9. Or it was 10, yeah. 10, 11, 12, 1, yeah, 10. On the official Bushiroad YouTube account, which was weird because it was actually on the Stardom YouTube account. Addressing the Stardom acquisition, the Stardom roster will be on stage, and they were. Then he also uploads a picture of the Tokyo Sports newspaper where Stardom was actually on the front. It's interesting the people that they chose. They chose Mayu, Utami, Hana, and Arisa. And if you think about it, that makes a lot of sense. Mayu being the icon, the face of the promotion, Arisa being the white belt holder. And then Hana being like the attractiveness of Stardom, I guess, or like the more well-known in terms of popularity. And then you have Utami, who is a celebrity in her own right outside of wrestling. So that makes a lot of sense. Can't read any of this, of course, but obviously big news in Japan. Then he's just saying that, the press conference will start, and then he uploads a picture of the lineup of the press conference. Now, when I first saw this, I got a little worried because I didn't see Azumi at first when I was watching the video. And that made me a little worried because most other wrestling promotions don't really use minors, like underage people. And I was really worried that this acquisition would be bad news for Azumi, definitely, and then maybe Starlight Kid, because I don't know if Starlight Kid is 18 yet. She might still be 17. I was really worried because I was thinking that they might put them on the bench, like on the sideline, until they were, an adult. But seeing as they were at the press conference, that does lower my concerns a bit. Everyone was there, almost everyone. Utami, Hana, Jungle, Konami, Mayu, Arisa. Oh, geez. I think that's Saki. Tam, Momo, Kamatani, Starlight Kid. Oh, I call her Kamatani just because the other side came first. So, and I really like saying Kamatani. Saya, Natsuko, Hazuki, Kagetsu, Miyagi, B, and then there's Azumi in the back. I was a little confused because I thought she would be by Momo, but she's not. Then Yurie, Leo, and the other rookie who passed her test who hasn't debuted yet. I don't know her name off the top of my head, so sorry about that. I think it's like Monami or something. Then he started giving us the cliff notes of the press conference. It was only about 20 minutes long, and this is a pretty good recap from what I can hear. He says, as reported today on the front cover of blah, 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 what we've already gone over, Stardom is no longer a corporation and becomes part of the Bushiroad group Kicksroad. Kickboxing promotion Knockout is also a part of Kicksroad. Now, if we look up Knockout, Kicksroad, established in 2016, operates the kickboxing event Knockout. Maybe this will help. I did try to look up this stuff before starting the video, so don't think that I was just winging it. I did try to look this up, but I couldn't find it. I've been here before, I just didn't notice this link here. Alright, so as you can see here, looks like it's just a regular kickboxing event. Looks like they do have women fighters. I don't know what this means. Hopefully it means more fighters. There we go. So it looks like it does have a women's league. So at least flyweight. Wow, she's 7 wins, 5 losses. 16 wins, 4 KOs. Damn, this chick is badass. I wonder if there's any fights that I can watch online. Anybody who watches this who actually knows of any links or has watched anything from this, let me know. I want to see something. Anyway, so as you can see, this company at least has experience working with female athletes. That's a good sign because female athletes and male athletes are not the same. They are not going to need the same kind of management. And the fact that they do have women under their management already makes me less worried for the wrestlers themselves. There's two sides of this. There's me worried about how this is going to affect Stardom as a product for me, a foreign fan, and then there's how this is going to affect the girls, the wrestlers. And so far, everything I've seen, they all seem pretty happy about it. I know, especially in Japan, it's not like they can voice their concerns, but once we get farther on, you'll see that it does look good for them. So, second cliff note, on December 1st, 2019, the company name will be changed from Kicksroad Co. Ltd. to Bushiroad Fight Co. Ltd. Rossy Ogawa? Hiroshi Ogawa? Oh, that's not his real name. Interesting. Will remain the chief executive officer, the CEO of Stardom. The name of the wrestling promotion remains Stardom. So that right there qualms, any kind of concerns on two things: name change and management. Now, it says Rossy will stay the CEO. Whether he'll have full control like he does now, we will see in the future. But everything from this tweet right here insinuates that, yes, he will. So that was another thing I was worried about, like, for example, Momo. I'm not sure how much another company would want to back her. And seeing as Momo is my favorite wrestler in Stardom, I was a little worried about that. The fact that Rossy is apparently still the CEO, and at least from what we can understand based on these tweets, he will still be in charge, so his pick of Momo should still be there. Number 3, BS Nippon Television Broadcasting, Advertising, and Global Development will begin shortly thereafter. The first big show will be held on April 29th, 2020 at Tokyo's Ota Ward Gym. Now I'm going to look that up too, because that sounds big. And then in 2021, there will be a big 10th anniversary show. Looks like they're going to be getting TV shows too. They're going to start getting broadcasted on TV in Japan, which is really good for them. No, that's Fight PD. I want something about the actual strict. Okay. I was worried that safe search wouldn't be off, or would be off. Wow, that looks pretty big. That's probably going to be good for them. It looks like it's a pretty big place. I wonder how many people it can hold. Can accommodate 3 volleyball courts, 2 basketball courts, or 10 badminton courts. So 2 basketball courts, that's pretty big. Then the sub area. Oh, so it has like 2 different areas. All right, back to the tweets. So it looks like already from these tweets, we are seeing that Stardom is going to be working or getting work at bigger venues from this acquisition. That's going to be better for the girls because it's going to be, bigger area, or bigger arenas mean bigger shows. Next is in 2020, Stardom will run Carrican Hall 14 times, which is crazy. August 8th and 9th. And then 2020, Stardom will run Carrican Hall on consecutive days. Details will come later. This I'm a little worried about. This just screams to me that there's going to be even more shows next year. And I feel like they're already kind of pushing it. I know someone's going to come up with like, oh, Maya Yuki, he's wrestled twice as much as everyone else. Like, I get it, but like that's still not good for them. If they can handle it, that's fine, but we'll see. The next one is they are apparently coming to America for the Chara Expo in the USA, of course, in December 7th and 8th. The Anaheim Convention Center. It looks like this is the match that they are going to be put on. It's going to be Mayu Iwatani, Tam Nakano versus Sumi Sakai and Nicole Savoy. All great wrestlers. That match is probably going to be pretty great. I might even go to this one, hopefully. I got to talk to my dad about that, though. We'll see. 6. A TV program will air on BSN-TV and Tokyo MX beginning in January 2020 on BSN-TV every Thursdays at 12:30 a.m. I'm terrible at military time. Don't laugh at me. And Tokyo MX, this one is a 30-minute program. Stardom will remain as it is. See, that's the important thing, but this could be interpreted many different ways. He's saying that Stardom will remain as it is, but what does that actually mean? Does it mean just the website will still be there and Stardom will still get matches uploaded to the website? Because my main concern is the subtitles. I don't want announcers, and I want subtitles to say. And I really, really hope that this line right here that I've highlighted implies that sentiment is true. Then he goes on and says, Bushiroad in regards to contracts. We will create contracts with each wrestler. We want to create an environment where the wrestlers can concentrate on pro wrestling, and we are expecting to bring in excellent wrestlers from all around the world. This had me happy, worried, and super worried. And the reasons why is happy because this sounds like each wrestler is gonna, be getting their time to talk with the new owners and get, a good contract for them. 2, I'm worried because this could also mean that we could be losing people if they're not happy with their new contracts or they can't get a contract they're happy with. And really worried that last sentence, and we are expecting to bring in excellent wrestlers from all around the world. That has me worried because Stardom already kind of has a reputation for kind of pushing foreign talent over their own in ridiculous ways, like Mandy Leon. And I'm curious about this, and we are expecting to bring in excellent wrestlers from all around the world. Now, if this means they'll be able to pull better foreigners instead of the ones that... Because apparently how it used to go is they email them and they're pretty much considered. It's not really like a hard process to get into Stardom. Like, you don't have to be a certain talent level. So hopefully this means that there'll be some kind of like quality control. Like, we won't be getting any more of the Mandy Leons in Stardom. If that's the case, then that's great. If we can get more like alpha females, like Nicole Savoy, Dust, things like people of that caliber, that's great. If this means that we'll be seeing a lot more foreigners, I don't like that. Stardom already has a huge roster. They don't really need that many foreigners. Just have the ones that they kind of already are with. People are saying that because Stardom is now owned by Kicks Road, who are kind of owned by Bushiroad, and Bushiroad kind of owns New Japan Pro Wrestling, then anyone signed with the WWE won't be able to come back to Stardom. That means no Tony, no Viper, no Zaya. It's either Zaya or Zia. Brookside. And I'm totally fine with that, except for the Viper part. But we'll see, because there's really not too many good, like, freelancers left. Everyone's pretty much signed to a promotion, from what I can tell. Moving on. We would like to listen to the thoughts of each wrestler and take those thoughts into account when creating this new work environment. This, on the surface, sounds really great, but it sounds like they're going to change things. Like, because up until this point, we're under the impression that Stardom's going to be, like running themselves. They're just going to have a bigger bank account advertising for them. And this quote right here makes it sound like they are going to change things when creating this new work environment. Something's going to change. We don't know what. It might not even be something that we ever notice, because it might just be backstage. Hopefully it just means things like catering or, better dressing rooms or something, or like designated rooms before each show to shoot pre-match promos so you don't hear everyone behind, things like that. That would be great. If it's going to actually start changing things behind the scenes, like as we all know, Kagetsu's kind of the new trainer for the rookies and stuff like that. And like Jungle's kind of the liaison between management and the wrestlers. Maybe they're going to come in and change those roles based on what they see fit. That might not be that great. Number 9, advertising global marketing strategy by Bushiroad will begin starting in January 2020 to include more weekly pro wrestling coverage, traffic, advertisements, TV spots, etc., in addition to guest appearances at events hosted by Bushiroad. This has a lot of information in it that on the surface, it just like, oh yeah, they're going to be doing more advertising. But just look at this. They're going to be including more weekly pro wrestling coverage. Now that probably means magazines, like websites, things like that. They might even like reach out to certain YouTubers to start covering things more often. But traffic advertisements, have no clue what that means. I'm not even going to pretend I know what that means, but it's probably a good thing. TV spots, great, etc. In addition to guest appearances at events hosted by Bushiroad. Now this is going to be interesting because this is implying that Stardom wrestlers can now show up at Bushiroad things. And if you don't know what Bushiroad isn't just a sports thing. They actually are an entertainment company, producer of collectible card games and trading cards, publisher of mobile apps and games, promotional items, and many other venues. If you want to look at some of the things, they've published video games, like Love Live School Idol Festival. I actually had, like, look at that. Like, they made that game right there. It actually looks pretty fun. I would actually play that. But they're not like a sports company forefront. They're a game, like, company. Like, look at this website. It's so colorful and, like, so anime in Japanese. Like, look at this. Look at all this. And the fact that they have an English website, like English website, it's not just Google translated, that makes me pretty happy. It means that they at least know that in Detective Conan, that in some form or shape that the foreign fans that can only speak English are someone you should be reaching out to at least a little bit. But based on that tweet, the tweet that said, in addition to guest appearances at events hosted by Bushiroad, events like Gen Con, Anime Expo 2019, Anime Central, the Midwest Anime and Manga Convention, Bushiroad Championship Series 2019. I don't even know what that is. But Stardom, you could just be at some kind of anime thing and Momo on the stage, like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know why that's forbidden. That's weird. Bushiroad Championship Series. Looks like it's a card game. Card game series. Card fight. Interesting. Really? Huh. There's a lot of white dudes. That's interesting. I might have to. I might look into that later because I like looking into new things sometimes. Oh my god, another notification. So that's going to be interesting because I feel like some of the girls are not very that, like Azumi. Hazuki is another name that I feel like isn't really into that kind of stuff, and I'm worried that this is really going to affect them and already put another disadvantage to them over the other girls. I need to get a better setup. I'm sitting on my floor right now. I don't have a desk, so. Alright, then after that, he gives a little quote by Mayu. I loved the thrill of performing on the big stage at Madison Square Garden earlier this year and look forward to helping bring Stardom to greater heights. This is such a PR answer. It's kind of ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Like, all the girls sound like they're enjoying this, but I mean, it's Japan. You really think they're going to be able to say their true thoughts if they don't like it? Then he just uploaded a picture of the thing. Let me refresh, make sure he didn't upload anything since I started. Nope, And as you can all see, this is the end. It's a little concerning. No one here looks happy. Like, no one. Saya does a little bit. But not even Yurie looks happy. And I doubt this, will affect her in any way, shape, or form. And you can't just say, they're trying to stay in character. Obviously Miyake's trying to stay in character. But, Arisa's character is smiling. And I'm not sure why Kamitani's up front. It doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. At all. But whatever. So, there you have it. This is the company that now owns Stardom. I don't know. I want to be positive about this. Everything they've said so far indicates that this is going to be a positive experience. It's they're literally going Stardom the way it was with money. That's how they're trying to advertise this acquisition. But as we all know, businesses, they say something during an acquisition, but then a month later, you find out it was all doublespeak or just straight up lying about what's actually going to happen. And then the fact that these are Japanese companies, and then they're even more known to not just straight up tell you anything. So most likely something big is going to change, and we're not even going to know about it until it happens. Hopefully this is a good thing. I'm really concerned. Just because, as you guys know, I'm really into Stardom, as you guys are. And Stardom has a certain something that no other promotion has. It has the accessibility. And if this acquisition is going to damage or hinder that accessibility in some way, it could very well drastically hurt Stardom for me, personally. So, hopefully, we'll see.